So this video will be a continuation of a series where I convert video game characters and classes into D&D subclasses. Last video was the Driller from Deep Rock Galactic, and in this video we will continue in that vein with the Scout from Deep Rock Galactic. So ask Lloyd for a round of Seasoned Moonriders, strap on your hover boots, and find an Engineer main because this is the Scout subclass for Artificers in D&D. So like last time, I'm going to assume that you all know how to play Artificer already and get straight into the subclass. Starting off with the description of the subclass.
For rock and stone!
In the intricate world of Artifice, there are those who tinker with gears, potions, and eldritch machines, and then there are scouts. These adventurers, inventors, and explorers have mastered the art of mobility, relying on their wits and a trusty grappling hook to navigate the most treacherous terrains and outmaneuver their adversaries. As a scout, you relish the thrill of the unknown and the excitement of a daring escape. Your grappling hook is your steadfast companion, a device that allows you to swing from perilous heights, traverse gaping chasms, and grapple onto foes with unrivaled precision. With each adventure, you learn new ways to harness the power of your grappling hook. You swing through the canopy of ancient forests, dance across crumbling ruins, and descend into the darkest depths of dungeons. Your nimble maneuvers in the heat of battle leave your enemies bewildered and outmatched. So that is just some flavor to sort of describe the subclass and sort of get you an idea of what it is, and it is very much in the vein of Scout from Deep Rock Galactic. So moving on from there, we get, like other Artificer subclasses, a tool proficiency at 3rd level. You gain proficiency with Cartographer's tools. If you already have this proficiency, you gain a proficiency with one other type of Artisan's tools of your choice. Now moving on from that, like every other subclass for Artificer, we get a list of spells that are taken from other spell lists and brought to the Artificer, and they are always prepared and added to our spell list. So let's cover the spells for this subclass.
I'll have the Oktoberfest special and don't skimp on the sausage!
At 3rd level of Artificer, you get the 2 first level spells Ensnaring Strike and Hunter's Mark. At 5th level, you get Misty Step and Pass Without a Trace. At 9th level, you get Daylight and Slow. At 13th level, you get Dominate Beast and Dimension Door. And finally, at 17th level, we have Hold Monster and Telekinesis. Now, I picked all of these spells mainly to sort of fit the idea that this character is sort of a character that excels at both moving around the battlefield and also locking down enemies. So a lot of these spells are meant to be built around a character who locks down enemies and also moves quickly, which is sort of akin to how the Scout functions in Deep Rock Galactic. However, at the 3rd level spells, at 9th level Artificer, I did pick the spells Daylight and Slow, and the reason I picked those is because those ones are very similar to items you have as a Scout in Deep Rock Galactic. So Daylight is sort of simulating the flare gun that you have, and the Slow spell is simulating the inhibitor field grenades. So those 2 spells were picked specifically because of those reasons. Now moving on from spells and tools, let's talk about our first ability that we get here as part of this subclass. And this ability we get here at 3rd level is going to sort of define the subclass and be the thing that the entire subclass is built upon. And if any of you have played Scout in Deep Rock Galactic, I think you can guess what this ability is going to give us here. So let's talk about the 3rd level ability we get as part of Scout, which is Grappling Hook. You gain the ability to use your grappling hook with unparalleled skill and precision. You can use a set of Tinker's tools or Smith's tools as an action to create a magical grappling hook at the end of a short or long rest. You cannot create a new grappling hook until the end of your next short or long rest. Creating a new grappling hook causes the previous grappling hook to become inert. The grappling hook also becomes inert if you perish. The grappling hook functions as a simple magical ranged weapon with which you are proficient, that uses your intelligence as the modifier. The weapon's special ability is as follows. Grapple Shot. As an action, you can make a ranged attack at a target within a number of feet equal to 10 multiplied by your intelligence modifier, a minimum of 10. The effect of the grapple shot depends on the target. If the target is a secured object and/or an object of a weight equal to or heavier than you, you are pulled in a straight line towards it. If the target is a lighter unsecured object, it is pulled in a straight line towards you. Objects you grapple shot remain attached until released or removed, and the grappling hook can support the weight of you and your equipment from a full hang. If the target of the grapple shot is a creature, of your size or larger, you are pulled in a straight line towards the creature. If the creature is smaller than you, it is pulled in a straight line towards you. You may then choose to make a contested grapple as part of this action to remain attached. Grappling creatures in this way follow standard grappling rules. If the creature is more than one size larger than you, you attach to it as if it were a wall or ceiling, and the creature can use the shove action or other forced movement to try and remove you. If you make another grapple shot attack while grappled onto a creature or object, you lose your existing grapple. Your movement using the grapple shot does provoke opportunity attacks. However, forced movement of the grapple shot on the target does not trigger opportunity attacks. Teleportation or other forced movement breaks the grapple. You can release the grapple shot as a free action. So, to sort of summarize that and give you an idea here, the grappling hook is a simple, light weapon, meaning it can be wielded one-handed, and it has the action to do a grapple shot. And that grapple shot allows you to essentially just attack an enemy like you would with like a hand crossbow, except for it pulls you to them instantly. So this action also includes movement with it, as much movement as 10 times your intelligence modifier. So if you have a 3 modifier to your intelligence, then you would have 30 feet of movement with this grappling hook. And as part of that action, if you hit a creature with an attack from the grapple shot, you then get to try and, as part of that action, attempt to grapple them and make a contested grapple roll. Now, this doesn't need to be spent on any extra actions like a normal grapple. This is part of the attack. So as long as you hit a creature with this, you can attempt to grapple them. And like it describes, if the thing you are shooting the grapple shot at is lighter or smaller than you, it gets pulled to you rather than you to it. But if it's as big as or bigger than you or heavier or just like a fixed stationary thing, you get pulled to it. And the last bit of this is a bit important because it does say you can release the grapple shot as a free action at any time. And this means that if you are, midway through being pulled to wherever you're going, you could release the grapple shot and it would fling you rather than just pull you straight there. And this is up to the DM and you to sort of work out, given the circumstances, how far you would fly. But just note that you can do that as part of this. Now, I'm not saying that you won't take damage or get hurt doing that, but just note that it is something you can do. So this grapple shot is our main feature of this subclass and is going to give us that scout-like experience from Deep Rock Galactic where we get to move around the battlefield and zip around with a grappling hook. But we get another ability here at 3rd level as well, and this ability that we get is going to allow us to customize this grappling hook further to more fit our needs and be a bit more utilitarian to us. So this other ability we get at 3rd level is called Cable Spools.
Load up your guns and sharpen your pickaxes. We got an incoming swarm.
You can customize your grappling hook cables. When you do so, choose one of the following cable types. The cable you choose gives your grappling hook special benefits. You can change the cable type when you finish a short or long rest, provided you have Tinker's tools or Smith's tools in hand. Mithril cables. These grappling hook cables are incredibly light, yet very durable. You have an extra +1 to hit with the grappling hook. This bonus increases to a +2 at 9th level and +3 at 15th level. In addition, the range of your grappling hook increases by 5 feet. This bonus in range increases to 10 feet at 9th level and 15 feet at 15th level. Serrated siphoning cables. These grappling hook cables have sharp serrations and a magical siphoning system. When you damage a living creature with the grapple shot, you gain temporary HP equal to your artifice level. Bungee cables. These grappling hook cables are elastic and stretchy, causing you to gain an extra boost of momentum towards your target. When you hit a creature that is further than 5 feet away from you with your grapple shot, your next attack roll against that creature has advantage until the start of your next turn. Additionally, if you release the grapple shot before arriving at your target, you fly twice as far as you normally would. Assassin's cables. These grappling hook cables are a popular choice among thieves and assassins. You have advantage on stealth checks made while using your grappling hook to move. Your grappling hook makes no noise when deployed and deals no damage to objects struck by it. Additionally, you do not provoke opportunity attacks when your grapple shot is used to move. So these cable spools that you can swap out on a short or long rest are going to allow you to add some more utility and customization to your grappling hook and sort of have your grappling hook ready for different scenarios and excel at different things depending on the way you want to build your character. And you get these 4 cable spools here that you can use for the rest of your career, but we will be getting more cable spools later on. So the customization of your grappling hook is only going to expand given time. Now moving on to 5th level, let's talk about an ability you get called Extra Attack. You can attack twice rather than once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. So I'm sure you're all familiar with Extra Attack. This is just giving you an extra attack when you make the attack action. And this will synergize with your grappling hook because your grappling hook does make a ranged attack. So you can use a grapple shot and then follow up with another weapon if you have another weapon in your other hand. And like I've stated before in my last video, artificers do not get extra attack normally, so you have to get it through your subclass. And many of the artificer subclasses do give extra attack, and this is going to be another one of those. So you get extra attack here, and it'll be nice for you, being that you're grappling up close to a lot of targets. You're going to be up in the mix a lot, so having an extra attack is going to help you just increase your damage output. Now moving on to 9th level, we have another ability here that's going to further enhance our grapple shot, and that is Grappling Hook Mastery.
You're too cute for these things.
You have begun to master using your grappling hook in the flow of combat. Your grapple shot deals an extra 1d6 piercing damage. You may now add your intelligence modifier as a bonus on top of your athletics or acrobatics to contested grapple rolls against your grapple shot. When a creature uses its movement to exit the range of your grapple shot, you may use your reaction to make a grapple shot attack against that creature. Once per long rest, when you make a grapple shot attack, you may immediately cast a spell that requires an action to cast as a bonus action instead. The spell must be of a level equal to your intelligence modifier or lower. Additionally, you gain 2 new cable spool options. Sapping cables. These grappling hook cables magically drain the target of their energy. When you damage a living creature with the grapple shot, it must make a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failure, the creature has disadvantage on all strength-based ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws until the end of its next turn. If you have a creature grappled by these cables, you may attempt to reapply this condition as a bonus action on your turn, and the creature must make the same saving throw. Titanium cables. These grappling hook cables are sturdy and hard to break. These cables can support 5 times the weight of you and your equipment. Your grapple shot also deals an extra 1d4 of piercing damage, and you may grapple creatures 1 size larger than normal when using the grappling shot. Additionally, these cables are capable of being used as a fixed tether. You may fire the grapple shot at a fixed surface, and spend 1 minute affixing your end of the cable to another fixed surface within the grapple shot's range, creating a connecting cable. More tension than the weight that the cable can support will cause it to snap. So to sort of kind of run through this, you get that extra d6 to your damage on the grapple shot, which of course is nice. I mean, you're getting further along in the levels now in D&D, so having a little bit of extra damage to a weapon that you're kind of required to use as part of your subclass is going to be nice. Also, as part of this, you get to add your intelligence to your grapple checks. So again, just making you a better grappler and using a stat that's more oriented towards artifice to help you grapple. And then finally, as part of those perks, you get a quicken spell essentially for a spell once per day when you hit somebody with a grapple shot. Now, of course, the spell has to be your intelligence modifier level or lower, but still, pretty good little quicken spell for anything 5th level or lower, depending on how high your intelligence is. And then, of course, as part of this, we get 2 more cable options, and now these 2 cable options add to our other 4 before, so now we have 6 total cables that we can flip from during short or long rests. So moving on from there, let's talk about the final ability that you get as part of this subclass at 15th level, and that is Cable Mastery. Rock and stone, everyone! A true scout can use their magical tinkering skills to weave cables into a single cord and swap cables in the heat of battle. When changing your cable type, you may choose 2 different cables and weave them into one, gaining the benefits of both cables. You may change your cable type using an action rather than waiting until the end of a short or long rest. Additionally, you gain 2 new cable spool options. Life binding cables. These grappling hook cables bind your essence with the target. If a living creature is considered grappled by your grapple shot, when you take damage, the creature also takes half that amount of damage. Arcane conduit cables. These grappling hook cables are superconductors of arcane magics. If a living creature is considered grappled by your grapple shot, the creature has disadvantage on all saving throws against your spells, and spell attack rolls made against the creature by anyone within 60 feet have advantage. So this 15th level ability is pretty impactful because it allows you to essentially combine cables, and you get 2 more cables as part of this. So at this point you now have 8 different cables to choose from, and you can now combine them together to make a cable that does 2 of the different cables' effects. So this is going to open up a lot of build potential, a lot of different things you can do, and I'm sure many artificers who might take this subclass would be thinking about this ability probably ahead of time, probably when they first start their career, because they know at some point they are going to be able to combine cables together, which is a pretty cool thing to be able to do. And then on top of that, you're able to swap out your cables as an action now instead of waiting for a rest. So in the heat of battle, you might be able to sacrifice an action on your turn to be able to swap your cables to something that's a bit more useful. And note that we are at 15th level at least by now, so you're at the high levels of D&D here, and D&D combat at those levels can get a little wild, to put it lightly. So being able to swap out your cables mid-fight is going to be pretty helpful, considering you might not know what you're in for a lot of times at these levels. And then of course 2 more cables on top of that to add to our existing pool of cables to pick from. So that is the Scout from Deep Rock Galactic as a subclass for artificers in D&D. Let me know what you guys thought, leave your comments, and check the description for D&D Beyond link to download this subclass or use it in your games. So with all that being said, I'll see you guys on Hoxus.